Hello, my lovely literary compatriots, and welcome back to Soul Stained Ink. My name is Beth, and today I'm going to be performing a tag for you. So the tag we're going to be doing today is the I Never tag, which is based off of the classic game I Never, which used to play as a child, young adult, somewhere in there. We played it in college. It's more fun the older you get, honestly. But you start out with 10 fingers or 10 pieces of yarn, things of that nature. And you all stand in a circle, and the first person says something like, I never read a Nancy Drew book, and then you put a finger down if you have, or give them your piece of yarn if you have. I never had a drink. I never blah, blah, blah. And you get through until one person has at least one finger left and everybody else is out. This is a play off of that. It is an original tag by Lizzie Faye Loves Books. Elizabeth is celebrating her 1-year booktube anniversary. So happy anniversary, Elizabeth. Yay! Now let's get into the questions. Question number 1 is, I never read that. Name a book that you've never read, but it seems like everybody else has. I have a stack of them right here. I know not everybody has read these books, but I have Cinder and Scarlet, Red Queen, and The Shadow of the Wind. I just got my copy of The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, but these 3 have been on my TBR shelf for years. Well, Red Queen for a year, Scarlet and Cinder for at least a year and a half, 2 years. Everybody seems to have read them. Everybody seems to love them. And I'm just sitting over here going, well, I'll get to them eventually. So question number 2 is, I never read anything so awesome. Name your favorite book. Elizabeth, I thought we were friends. Come on, we share a name. We both love to read middle grade books. How you gonna do me like this? Huh? Pick a favorite? You didn't even give me a category in which to choose a favorite from. Come on now. Number 3 is, I never thought I would get through this. Name a book that you really didn't enjoy, but you powered through anyway. The book I'm going to talk about, I really disliked. I wound up giving it a 3 because I kind of connected with characters like at the very end, but it's a very soft 3, more like a 2.75. And that is The Westing Game. This book is literally 212 pages long, and it took me 5 days to get through it. It's a middle grade book. It's 212 pages long, and it took me a week to read. So that should tell you something. I should have finished that in about 3 hours or less. Question number 4 is, I will never finish that. And this is, name a book or series that you never plan to finish. For me, it's a book I originally said I was going to pick back up in the winter because it felt like more of a winter read, but I didn't like it to begin with. And the longer I think about it and the further removed I am from it, I'm just not going to finish Shylock Is My Name by Howard Jacobson. I just don't want to. It doesn't matter to me. It's going away. Bye-bye. Number 5 is, I will never regret reading that. And this is where you want to talk about a book that you read purely because of a recommendation and you love so much you're never going to regret it. For me, that is Solace. It's an Alexia Terabati novel, the first in the Parasol Protectorate series by Gail Carringer, and I can't wait to go on with this series. This was recommended to me by several people on BookTube, but especially Acacia Ives. She told me I would love it, and she was right. So there you have it. Number 6 is, I would never do that. You're supposed to take a relatable book character and talk about why you didn't agree with some of their choices. I have 2 sets of characters to talk about today, but I will attempt to be very brief. The first set is that of the Raven cycle. I have the Raven King here because it's so pretty. One of my biggest issues with the book is that while I love all of the characters very much, I don't agree with about a quarter of the things that they do. And one of them Mora makes a huge decision, which I really, really, really did not agree with, and I would never do that. I say I would never do that. I'm never going to be in the situation where I would have to do that, but it still really rankled me. The second set of characters I have to talk about are those in Nora Roberts' The Key trilogy. And they have, this is a romance, paranormal, supernatural, fantasy type series, and they come together really quickly, and it's a lot of fun, and I really appreciate how they come together. But there are a couple of instances, especially in the romantic sector, where things happen, and mostly they're rebuffing somebody or they misunderstand something that happened. And while I'm reading it, I'm like, I would never do that. How can you not see that he's in love with you? And I'm sure that in real life that would change dramatically, but, in the book, at least, I have the ability to say, I would never do that. You're so stupid. What are you doing? Question number 7 is, I never wanted to admit it. And this is a book that you were embarrassed to say you read or that you were embarrassed to carry around. That is actually the book I'm reading right this second. And that is Alessandro Barrico's The Young Bride. Um, Not only does it have a naked chick on the cover, which I actually could probably handle pretty easily, it talks about how this is a luminous and alarming lesson on desire, how it's lyrical and erotic, and things of that nature. And while this is a gorgeous Europa edition, and they did send it to me very nicely for review, I'm still a little embarrassed to kind of haul this out at a restaurant, say. So I took it with us yesterday and did not take it out of the car at any of our stops. Question number 8 is, I never read anything so heartwarming. And this is name a book or series that really touched your heart, made you feel the feels. So I have a lot of those. One of them is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, but I don't know if that's really heartwarming so much as it just made me feel on a whole. However, something that is very heartwarming for me is The Lost Track of Time by Paige Britt, with drawings by Lee White. And this follows Penelope, who is a young girl. I think she's about 12, and she wants to be a writer, but her mom schedules every single minute of every single day. And so Penelope has 15 minutes a day to do whatever she wants. And in that time, she has to hide her journals and try to pull them out and think of something cool to write, and then hide them back again before her mom finds out, because her mom does not approve of it. And one day she finds herself falling into the realm of possibility, which is where anything is possible. And she has to go on this adventure to help find the great Moodler and kind of save the realm of possibility. And within that time, she learns a lot about herself and about what it takes to be a writer. And it's just not what she expected. But it's very heartwarming, and she learns a lot, as does the reader. And I highly recommend that no matter what age you are, you pick this up and read it. Question number 9 is, I never laughed so hard. And this is, of course, a book that made you really, really laugh. As I said previously, Solace by Gail Carringer had me cackling on every page. However, there is another book I recently read that made me laugh just as hard as that, and that is, drum roll please, Mr. Limoncello's Library. Who knew I was going to say that? Yeah, Chris Gravenstein's Escape from Mr. Limoncello's Library is hilarious, and it is a wonderful bibliographic book, and you should definitely, definitely check it out. It's a middle grade, and it's a lot of fun. If you don't want to buy or get a middle grade book from the library, they have it on Overdrive, or at least my library does. Check out the audiobook. It's fabulous. Question number 10 is, I never could have made it through childhood without this book. Name a book or series that kind of got you through childhood. And of course, it's going to be The Babysitter's Club by Ann M. Martin. I started reading that series in second or third grade and never looked back. It taught me so much about being a friend, about being responsible. It's just an amazing series, and I still read it, obviously, to this day. I have a very nice collection of them. The other one I want to mention is So You Want to Be a Wizard by Diane Duane. I'm currently rereading this series, but this first book I picked it up at a time where I really needed it. So that kind of goes along with the theme of the book, honestly. But it taught me a lot about being a friend and how to communicate with people that maybe I wasn't communicating very well with because I am a huge nerd and they weren't. So it really helped me out. That is the end of Elizabeth's 10 questions, but I'm adding one of me very own because I like to be that way, like to throw in a little twist every now and again. If you don't want to do this one when you do the tag, don't do it, although I would love to hear your answers. The question is, I never would have read that. Name a book or series that somebody foisted upon you and you never would have found or read otherwise. For me, that is Tim Baker's Fever City. This is a noir thriller set in the early 60s. It has a lot of conspiracy theory in it. In fact, the entire book is basically conspiracy theories. And I really wasn't expecting to enjoy it, but I love it. I'm going to link my review for you up in the corner there, and you can check that out if you want to. But definitely check out the book. It's amazing. I'm only going to be tagging 5 people, but I am expecting amazing things from these 5 people. No pressure, no pressure. But these 5 are the guys at Stripped Cover Lit. I think that they will have some unique answers to this. I'm also tagging Cherry from Cherry Walker, Crystal from Crystal the Bookworm, Nash from the Book Bat, and Jordan from the Bookie Babe, because I love you and I tag you in everything. If I did not tag you and you want to do this tag, please just do it. If you want it to be all official like, let me know and I'll put your name down in the doodly doo so you can pretend like I tagged you actually in the video, and I will remember to tag you in whatever tag I do next. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of our ride. So don't forget to give me a big thumbs up if you liked the video. Subscribe if you're new. Leave me comments down below, and I will see you again soon. Bye!